A nursery school would like to create a small network but can't decide whether to use a star or a mesh topology. The question asks you to find one key advantage and one key disadvantage of each type of topology. So let's first of all have a look at those topologies. Let's have a look at the star network first of all. So we're going to have a central server, and around it are connected multiple computers or devices that can connect to that central point. The advantages of a star network is if one of these devices fails, for example like so, each one of the other devices connected to it will keep running and they will not halt the network. We can add more devices to the network quite simply, connecting to the central server, and it will continue running. And data can be sent from one device to another, controlled via that central server. Disadvantages of star network is if the central server fails, this device fails, obviously all the devices connected to it will fail to operate as well. The network will collapse. And like any network topology, cabling and technical knowledge is required to set up the system and maintain the server. So look at the mesh network. The mesh network works in a slightly different way, because each of the devices, could be a computer, could be a server, are connected to each other. So every one of the devices in that network has a direct connection to every other device, like so. The advantages of this type of network are each one of the devices shares the load between them. If one of the devices fails, like so, the network will continue to run exactly the same way with no failure to the system. And we can add more devices to the system without necessarily slowing down the speed of the network. So the disadvantages of a mesh network: they require a high level of expertise to set up and maintain the network. And secondly, they're expensive to set up, partly because of the expertise needed, but also for the additional cabling and devices. Any one of these advantages and disadvantages for each of the topologies will get you the 4 marks.